All right, hello everybody. We're back again. Another week of SCL. RU live coverage this week with elodin versus Feliburn. We're a couple turns. The game just started, but we're already a couple turns deep. I'm just going to start real quick. We see Gudra versus Feliburn. Chansey, very cool. Knockoff. Okay. Goes into hurt. If y'all can hear the Halloween like join and leave thingies, apologies for that. But this is Discord and it's spooky season. Okay, now we're caught up. So we have two water grounds. They're staring at each other. Got rocks up. Stuff is happening. Okay. Spike's going up for Feli. Probably really good. Also, Expulso, I still can't hear you. Trying to figure that out still. We love technical difficulties. Anyway, Swampert has flip turned out. You have Fight coming in, which is, okay, I guess. Feli has Mimikyu to act as a spin blocker. Whether or not it'll be enough for the game, who knows? Okay, or he just kills it with Earthquake. That's also fine. I heard something.
Oh, there we go. About time.
Nice. You'd love to hear it. Also, the Quag didn't Earthquake, didn't kill Cyclone. I was surprised by that. Spike goes back up though, very cool. The Chansey being knocked was actually kind of a big deal. Because now it's like everything just has an easier time getting through it. Zoroark, kind of. Gudra, kind of. See Feli's own Gudra though.
Oh, what a call.
Yeah, that was the Zoroark, cool. Gudra, oh, it's lefty's Gudra too. I guess this is safe, even if you're predicting specs if you're lefties, but that was a great switch from Feli.
I mean, lefties kind of picks, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, Swamper's at 100, but long term.
I mean, Swamp, if it's coming in with a
knock.
spike, it has to be a knock. Yeah. Non-choiced Gyapdos is kind of freaky. The only thing it loses out on is versus Noivern. And it's like, since when was the last time you saw Noivern run a Hurricane or something?
Yeah. I wonder if it's a Thunderous Kick to help the breaking a bit.
Well, no, it was choice. It was choice. Choice Scarf. Just got knocked.
Yeah, I just thought they could. Well, yeah, I guess I never run that. You're right.
Scarf Thunderous Kick would be some like next level innovation.
I just know I've seen that somewhere, but now I forget. Maybe it was that probably was a non-choice. Okay.
So it's protect Gudra. That's
knock
nice.
Again. Well, there's no way you risk this as Feli.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're Feli, you can just go into like, I don't know, maybe Fez. You just sponge a couple hits. It might be annoying to lose your boots though, but you don't really have another guy who is, really wanting to take a knockoff. Everyone else's item is a little more important. Or health. Goo comes back out. Moonblast over Alluring Voice. Okay. Minor difference, but still notable.
Not a U-turn, I'm guessing. So, Calm Mind, Heat Wave, or Taunt, whatnot.
Earthquake Gudra. Alright, very cool. Chansey gets back up to full, which is, fine. Gyapdos comes back. This Gyapdos is like kind of, again, it's just like a threat. I mean, Feli doesn't have the greatest flying resists. So this like kind of just picks one right now. Unless Feli wants to throw in Noivern, which is the only one that like avoids giving elodin a body right now.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to keep Noivern as his revenger to Zoroark, I think.
That's also true. I mean, Zoroark is if it's choiced, I actually don't think it's that big an issue. Because it's like you have Chansey and you have Mimikyu, and those two are enough to be immune to all of its big hitting. So
That's true. I mean, he could play the defensive way like that. I bet he's thinking like, if I stay in on a Brave Bird here, he's gonna take like 60% recoil.
That is true. No, we see Quag on the knockoff. Reasonable. But yeah, things on the team are just kind of like losing items, and it's not a good look for Feli. Not horrible though. I mean, you just get recover up here. Gudra comes in, which at this point, Actually, that's probably Zoroark, right? It's probably Zoroark. Yeah, it showed no lefties. It's definitely Zoroark. Also, it was at 100%.
Yeah. Is he tricking, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, now Zoroark's like a huge threat. It's like, this is Walt, right? I mean, you're not doing anything to... well, Thunderwave.
Thunderwave, maybe?
Is it worth letting this get... Probably not. Okay, but elodin just doesn't care. Very good. I guess it's the same thing afterwards, right? You still get your 1 click, even if you get T-Wave there, but... Yeah. See Goodra in now. Trick again. Sacking the Zoro.
Ooh.
I like that. You just take a... Because Zoro is still not having the easiest time breaking, I guess. Especially with its specs gone. So taking away Goodra's survivability is kind of nice.
Yeah, you're all setting up for Fez sweep at this point, I guess.
Yeah, you make Fez's life easier. You make your own Goodra's life easier. Even Pert has an easier time doing some stuff. You could go Pert here. I think I would go Pert here. Zapdos is
I like
fine.
this, yeah. CC?
Just
Oh
use
yeah,
it.
that's an CG too.
Okay. If I'm elodin, what now? Maybe Bike, just get some regen back? No. Okay. Goo click Draco? Have to imagine.
Kind of a free click, yeah.
Yeah, because like, what's the worst thing that happens? Chansey comes in and nothing happens. So you take Stealth Rocks, your Choice Lock. Okay. I mean, great for you, but like, what does this do? Like, you can soft boiled, sure, but I mean, Goodra's not knocking you off.
As if you want.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. You keep Chansey low, but rocks are
here.
pretty good. Oh, Rapid Spin.
Okay.
On 4.
I figure U-turn is the mid ground there because you don't want to risk knocking off Chansey's choice item.
Yeah, I like U-turn.
Especially if it's like Dragon Tail and you actually let it recover if it stays in on knock.
Oh, it's like Life Orb Mimikyu or something. Life Orb? That is not. Wait, that is Life Orb? Bro, this is just fully physically defensive swap. That's crazy. Okay.
Flip turn here, maybe? Do we have it?
It's.
Oh.
So this is. What is this, like Specs? Throw Spray?
Specs or Scarf? I think he likes Trick Scarf. But
if this is Trick Scarf, it could be nice. But if it's. Okay, so let's say it is Trick Scarf, right? And then Pert ends up with a Scarf. You lose lefties. Let's say you click Flip Turn. Is that good for you? Okay, well, that's horrible. Why would you do that? What? Why would you do that? What? He had to have expected Specs then. That's the only... But if you're Specs, don't you die? You're like fully physically defensive Swarper. Is Mimikyu just that weak?
Like a Boom Burst mid-ground click, I guess. But it's also, I mean, running Mirror Code means it doesn't really have shit else to hit Noivern hard with. And also, I mean, him getting the choice item is good because now Fez can't be tricked. Like, I was going to say that's another obstacle for Fez late game, but no,
that's true. No Terra has been burnt though, so I mean, Terra Quag could be... Oh, that was a great switch. Oh, it's not Boots Fez either.
It's not Boots. Well, it's not lefties either.
These are Covert Cloak, probably.
Yeah, lefties.
It's probably Cloak.
Oh, Cloak. Yeah, that does make sense.
Turn off Psy Noise, turning off your healing, turn off like Scald Burns. It's reasonable, turn off like Jirachi flinches and stuff. But in this case, it's horrible because you have to take 25 every switch.
I wonder if he's gonna have to like Terra the Cyclizar to get a spin off against Noivern.
Well, I don't think Noivern is ever staying in. I think it's always Mimikyu at this point. Like, I think Feli should just commit to doing that.
Oh, I'm saying that, yeah, like, after you go Mimikyu, like, Feli could, like, the next time he gets Cyclizar in, sack Mimikyu to block, and then go Noivern to force out. And then if it's like Terra Fairy or maybe even Steel Psych, to commit to that.
You could do that, for sure. Yeah.
But then, I don't know how much Earthquake does to Fez from Quag. Oh,
no, I don't fully understand that. Oh, it's just, okay, it means you're not Steel Move. That's what it means. Actually, it also doesn't matter. Why are you running Draco?
Oh, it's Protect Gudra. That makes sense that it's not Steel Move, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be like Dragon Tail last, but it's like, you kind of want it. It kind of feels bad running this set without. Okay, what? Okay, fair enough. Flooring Voice doing very little. If there was like a Toxic Chain proc there, that would have been horrible for Feli. But since there wasn't, it's okay. Do you pull the trigger with T-Poison right now? Wow, I don't... Okay, actually, why wouldn't you want to Terra Poison this, right? Because it's like, well, this gets toxic now, so I don't know.
Could it be like a different Quag Terra? I know we were randomly afraid of Ghost in game discussion for Denial's game, but yeah,
I would not. That's to have something like that. It would be okay.
If it's U-turn, he could have U-turned out to get more procs.
Oh, it's Healing Wish. That's why he didn't care about. Okay, I see.
Interesting recipient choice.
Yeah, you kind of just have to pick one. Because it's like, I imagine you wanted to give that to Gudra, but it's like you go into Gudra, then you have to switch right back out and Mimikyu, so.
Yeah. I mean, anything you get out of that chance is a positive. Also, it kind of wins.
Yeah, Elodin's burnt Terra, his fairy resist is gone. This pert is now in range of getting 2 EOs. Yeah. Mimikyu turning things around. Is this Drain Punch, you think? Nah, actually, you know what? T-Ghost, Shadow Claw, that has to kill Gudra, right? Has to. Gyapdos is in, though. Very free. Cool. You just like Shadow Claw here? Or Shadow Sneak here, if you have it. So let's say you sneak Brave Bird, you do like a ton of damage to this. Recoil maybe puts it in range of rocks, and then you can go Noivern and start clicking buttons.
I guess it's nice to have Mimikyu, because that's one of the few that still hits Gudra hard. Is this Gudra at 86%, or am I getting Zoro tricked?
No, I'm pretty sure that's like actually at 86%. Yeah, Shadow Sneak, and he's just trading this down, which is fair, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, not in range of rocks though, which is unfortunate.
I mean, a fast enough Gudra from Elodin. If it's faster than Feli's, that could do something, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's Earthquake Gudra, which is, you know, needless to say, quite nice. If it also showed Draco too, so the Gudra is probably in a good place to be threatened. Well, actually.
Oh. Why not harden the Fez?
I don't know. That didn't do a lot of damage though, which is nice. I'm thinking Feli's own Fez actually probably just wins the game. Okay, he's sacking Quag, I assume.
Oh.
Never mind. He's not sacking Quag. I mean, he probably is still going to stay in, but I kind of doubt this kills Quag. This is not like specs. I'm assuming it's like Spit F, invested somewhat. And yeah. Oh, never mind.
And you got the extra leftovers turned from the miss. Look at that.
Brilliant. Maybe it is like just fully. Yeah, who knows? Does that just kill normally? I feel like Quag should be a little bulky, right? Okay, well, Feli's going into Gudra to what, knock off here? Very cool.
Yeah.
And it was float. Makes sense.
Well, now it should be a free Fez for Feli.
I think he's just Dragon Tails here.
Dragon Tail here would be crazy, because if you think Feli's going Fez, you U-turn. I guess maybe Elodin's not lowering voices and Feli stays in, knowing he's going to take like 10.
Yeah. I think Dragon Tail's fine. Because you have the odds of getting your Acid Spray?
Acid Spray last.
Okay, fine, sure.
Don't really love that your only real attack is Draco Meteor.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. But it is what it is. Works out here. Because now it's like, what are you going into? You're going into... Well, I guess you could go Cyclozar and just trade it down for a spin. Which I think is what's happening here. There are pretty good odds. I mean, Cyclozar could also just dodge Draco, or maybe there's like a roll that doesn't kill somehow. I don't know. We can see some shenanigans here.
If you're going to this, I imagine you're spinning.
Yep, spin. On what I assume.
Dodge or something?
Oh.
Interesting.
Really? I mean, I'm just gonna assume Feli calced this and the Draco didn't. I'm just gonna assume that's the case here.
I mean, Feli's still got Terra, so...
That's true. I think his game plan is just Terra Fez, I think. The Gudra still hasn't revealed its fourth. We know it's Knockoff, Earthquake, Draco. What do you think the fourth could be? Steel Move?
I'm thinking Flash.
Flash?
Because you don't really need Fire Blast for anything.
Okay, well, we go
right to Gudra. Interesting. Oh.
Gets the lefties off. That's cool. Earthquake is still very scary here.
It could be like Dragon Tail last for Elodin, because Earthquake does already hit Fez.
I think if you're running the leftovers Gudra, you want to do something like Dragon Tail. Okay. So now you give Fez the turn for setup, or to just boost, get HP back or something.
No, you don't really give Fez a turn because you have Earthquake still. I don't really know.
I'm saying you just Terra. Yeah. Like you're just gonna Terra Fez.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because you can't go Noivern. Noivern can't hit this. It can't kill with Draco, and then it would just fold to opposing Draco. And then last one Fez, I don't know if it has the gas to get through all of Zapdos and the rest of Gudra and like.
Yeah, Elodin really turned this around, because with EQ plus Dragon Tail, you're not set up at all, because Fez has to Terra out of Earthquake, and then you get phased out, and then you get kept, probably can get kept low enough for Zap Cyclist.
Yeah, that's what I think. I guess the question would be, do we think a close combat into like a rapid spin kills Fez? Because Gudra, I think you can just set up with Fez in front of it. I don't think you should... Actually, no. Because Gudra's slower, right? So even in the best case scenario with Fez Terra, Fez would have to eat a Gudra, Earthquake, eat a Zapdos, close combat, and then eat a Cyclozar Rapid Spin.
Yeah.
This is all working under the assumption Fez is like...
defense Fez. If it's fast Fez, it takes like 69 to 82 from close combat plus rapid spin.
Man.
Which means
I think that's
like 30 to Terra Fez.
This is also all under the assumption this is like a Terra Water Fez, which is the standard. It could be something else, and then it could be just a different story, but I don't know if Feli would be the type of guy, because look at how he's teamed her. I mean, what other Terra would you want? Hmm. I don't know. Tough life. Okay, Roost on the Earthquake, which is kind of, I don't fully understand why that happened. Why wouldn't you
Brave Bird
Terra
range
Water?
is like 55 to. Well, let me see if this reveals spread at all. I guess.
Why wouldn't you Terra Water there? You want to keep the fighting resist, but then you have to 1v1 Goodra as a poison type, which is like...
Maybe Feli's doing a thing where he baits, he tries to bait a Brave Bird from Zapdos and a Roost.
But you have to get Zapdos, you have to force Goodra out to do that. And I don't think you can do that without Terraing. Oh, well, don't...
Damn, that's nuts.
I think... Okay. I think this wins now. The cycles are, even if you're Dragon Tail, you don't have your AV. And this was +1.
So I guess it's not Dragon Tail on elodin's Goodra.
No, it's not Dragon Tail Goodra. Wow. Terra flying,
like,
bro. The pheasant is in the air. That's crazy.
I think Double Edge. Could Double Edge do enough to put this in range?
I mean,
I don't think they really run it anymore,
No.
but Double Edge would do 32 to 30. Well, no.
how much does Brave Bird do? Okay, he's just U-turn. He's getting desperate. Okay, that should be wraps. That should be wraps. How much did you say Brave Bird is doing the fast Fez?
55. Well, the fast Fez, it does 55 to 65.
Okay, 55 to 65.
Well, now he loses to Noivern
Yes, this is
as
also
well.
true. And then Bite comes in, you just click Wind Blast. It is Dragon Tail.
Tail.
Yeah. I guess Noivern... Actually, Noivern has inaccurate moves, so it's like...
Yeah.
Good miss. You think this is
Especially
U-turn?
because, I mean, it's the only removal on this team, too, right? Is it like Draco, Roost, Defog? Some bullshit? Or is he, like, you wouldn't really want to go removal list with his Gansey, would you?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. This could probably be... the Defog switcheroo? That's like such a not... that sounds so bad. Okay, he's just straight going. Cool. It's leftovers, Zapdos. And he just hits the Draco.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nice job from
Probably.
Kelly. This is a cool team. That was a really great best Terra. Unfortunate
Yeah, that was a
that
fun one.
unfortunate for elodin that he couldn't. His Putra got walled by the flying type Fez. Oh no. Yeah, that's great stuff from
We
Valley.
got
I think
Rob
he
and Fog up for a doubleheader right now.
Oh, real? Did that just start? Or oh yeah.
We're like 15 turns in, 12 turns in.
Okay, hold up. We'll just like. Do you want to just cover this too? I mean, they're happening at the same time.
Yeah,
Fireballs. I'm gonna just do a quick restart. So what happened? You have Goodra versus. Oh, Fog is coming in with like these nicknames too, which is kind of zesty. Talonflame versus Volk, Umbreon, Flamethrower. Oh,
Is this Spec Volcanion?
That's a spec. That's Volk is specs as hell, bro. There's no shot. Flame is doing 42 to
Yeah.
Umbreon? No shot. Okay, Umbreon doing Umbreon things, going to Goodra, cool. It's not Sap Zipper. Nice to note. Unfortunate
Oh,
Para.
that's clever. Yeah, could have been. Forgot.
I like running
Nice
Sap
week
Zipper.
for Swampert. Jesus Christ, that did a lot though.
The Slither, yeah. Yeah, that did a lot. Is that like offensive? Is that attack infested? Okay, U-turn never punished on the Talon. Canyon comes back in the guard on the Flame. Oh, that does so much damage. That guard is dead as hell. Into Bike, cool on the Psychic. It's nice switch from Fog. Back in the Flame on the U-turn. Okay, finally a Flame Body, by the way. And now, Steam, Goodra comes in. Yeah, this Goodra has not been... Okay, now we're caught up. This Goodra just cannot move, bro. Bro, this Goodra cannot move.
Yeah, damn.
It's been like 3 turns, bro. He's gotten parried like 3 out of 4 turns, I think. Bro.
To be fair, the one versus Bisharp, that para was kind of okay for him because it's set up and nice. You have 50-50 to kill. Like Fire Blast, the only thing coming in on Fire Blast is like Volcanion, which would give, you don't want to lose health on.
Oh, this is a great
Kind of
stay.
set up a
Great
funny-
staying for Rob.
Oh,
Will he get
Frockamed,
rewarded?
Frockamed,
Will he get
Defiant.
rewarded? There it is.
You
And
got
then
one. Nice.
thing is gone. I think that was greedy as hell from Fog. Just close combat, bro.
That was.
I guess.
Because like with a threat of knock, you didn't want to go Talon.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I
I
mean,
mean, Flame
What
does a
else is
lot. Here.
Quag? Oh yeah, well Quag's good for. I don't know. I mean, I can see why Fog thought he'd go Quag, because, but then Quag gets hit the same by close combat. So.
Well, Quag just gets Volcanion in because like it has to be on. You imagine it's well. I guess if it's water absorb, that's fine. But if it's water absorb, then I think Bisharp might, like honestly, just outright win.
Maybe Fog's thinking like it's okay to sack this for chip because now Specs Team Eruption is fairly.
Is it? I mean, like
If it's
you
not
just
water
turned.
absorb, which it could be.
I think Slitherwing is just a much bigger threat now, and although it has 59%, I mean, you could very easily just get that back to full with Morning Sun, and suddenly it's like the fastest thing on the field. Like, I don't know. I don't think that was worth it at all.
Yeah, I don't think it was that worth it, but I see it.
Okay, well, Umbreon comes in on Steam. Flame. Okay. Well, that's a 2-shot, which is sad.
That's a good Terra just for like the unrelated reason of now being better against Slither.
I mean, it was locked into Draco, right? So, Goodra
Yeah.
you couldn't touch it. You would have, this like guaranteed a kill, which I like. Goodra coming back in, you imagine Steel moves coming out here. I would probably just go like, I don't know, Hurt, maybe. Just
Go back to Bishop. It loses to every other mon. Now
that is
Terra's
true,
in.
actually. That's actually so true. Just go.
Maybe he's going this predicting Fire Blast? Yeah.
That's crazy,
Nice, wow.
bro. You can just U-turn back into Volk, honestly. Or just give fire off a Draco or a Dragon Tail or a knockoff, really whatever. Well, maybe not knockoff, but like Draco or Dragon Tail or something like that. And the beautiful thing about Quag, that special attack trap does not matter.
Yeah, because I mean, surely he would have gone it on Umbreon if it did have water absorb. Because I was gonna say you can like scout the set, but you kind of know it.
50%. Okay,
One.
so now we're just playing the game of okay, how this Quag is staying low.
So let's throw out a random knock on the town. Well, no, he could go Goodra there equally.
Okay, U-turn into Volk, I imagine.
Maybe just mid-ground Amoonguss. Nope.
Nah, this
Stays
is
off.
big
Nice.
Volk. We're in here. We're clicking buttons. It's gonna be a great time. And yep, by Quag. Goodra comes in. Yeah, this is looking very, very, very rough for Rob. I mean, he got very unlucky
This
with
Volk is
turns.
going ridiculously hard. A lot of
Yeah,
fast
Volk-
rings this week.
This Volk has killed 3 Mons on his team. Like, I guess technically Rocks killed the Gardevoir, but you know, it was Volk that put in the legwork there. How did this get paralyzed again? Oh, it's the stun spore. That's right. Amoonguss. Okay, he's flip turning. He knows it doesn't matter. Sack Bishop? Bike. Oh my god.
That's
This is just not Rob's week. Yeah. The luck was suffocating. And the Volcanion was really strong. And Rob's team doesn't really have a good water resist. I mean, you rely a lot on Goodra, but Goodra's also like Specs, and you know, it got paralyzed like turn what? It's like early, right?
yeah. Wow, that was
Turn-
pretty dominant, honestly. Like Goodra this low, forfeit because he's just gonna click it 3 more times, which would have been
Mhm.
very entertaining to see, honestly. Just watch it pick up all 6, but yeah, I mean, Felly's the only one who's been successful with the fat this week, salvaging it from what would be 0-3 so far.
That
It's
is
interesting.
that is true.
I
Well,
guess
no,
just
I
with
mean
that,
the Stretch. I think Stretch loaded a quote unquote kind of fat team. I would say Stretch brought like a fat team. He 6-0'd, I think so.
Oh, I forgot he played. Damn.
So like
Yeah, I'll check that out.
2 and 4 or something. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, this game was, a lot of it was predicated off luck, the paras, but I mean that is what it is sometimes with this tier. People thought the whole paralysis thing would be solved once we banned Thundy. They just haven't put in the time to look at all the mons that get like stuns for and other T waivers. And I mean, I guess that's it. But like, there are like a critical mass with mons that do get Thunder Wave and stuns for, which is, you know, unfortunate for Rob Jr. here specifically.
Yeah, the lack of Sap Sipper, which is usually not very meaningful, did seem to matter a fair amount here.
Yeah, I like Sap Sipper on.
Would have changed the outcome.
On Goo, specifically for what we saw here, you could turn into a pretty reliable answer to Amogus. But I also kind of like that on the leftover sets on specs. I think GUI is nice just for whatever random contact moves might happen. But yeah, such is life. You know, these weeks happen. Rob, don't beat yourself up too much about this. It is as unfortunate as it is part of the game. So, you know, we'll bounce back. And congrats to Fogbound for improving to, I think, 4-2? Is that right?
4-3, unless he missed a week, I believe.
Or 4-3. 4-3, yeah. Apologies, yeah. No, we're in week 7. We're in week 7. I don't think anyone's at 5 except for, I think Felly's at 5.
Felly's at 5 now. Felly's at 5. Zav's at 6. Lime would have got 5 if he won this week. We have the sub denial and then Rob.
So denial 1. We can chalk that up as 5-2 in their slot. We can chalk that up as 5-2 in their RU slot.
Yeah, we can cook that up. And then we play Felly next week, so it's 2 5-2 slots, so to speak.
Oh, that's neat.
Exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank all of y'all for watching the games, live covers, and we'll catch you next week. Peace. Alrighty, what's up, people? Welcome back. Another week, another set of SCL RU Gaming. You know the drill by now. 5 games on the docket. We will be covering each one, plus the live cover at the beginning of the video. So, yeah, let's get right into it. First up, we have Django versus Strash, otherwise known as ZapGB, which was a very quick and one-sided beatdown for Strash. He's 6-0 Django. And has some like pretty fire plays too while kind of going through it. And this is a really quick replay, so we'll just like kind of watch the entire thing. The really fire like plays happen super early too, so it's not, you know, we won't have to wait very long. But yeah, Django's bringing a very like kind of standard looking HO team. You got your Mousehold, got your Armaroos, got your Bisharp, and then like Hilligant and Salamence are kind of the 2 guys of choice in the back there. But here's where we get to the fireness. So Hilligant comes in on the Barracuda after, you know, Lycanroc gets up rocks and stuff, very standard. It's Victory Dance on the Talon Switch. Now, after the game, we did ask Stresh about this, and he was like, yeah, I didn't exactly know what was happening here, but I knew probably something not good for Talon, so he just switched to Wo-Chan. And as you can see, the switch to Wo-Chan works out great because the Hilligant Terra Psychics, Terra Blasts, and Blanks. And now you might be thinking, oh my god, close combat, and the screen might have spoiled you, but yeah, let me just Terra Ghost right quick, hit you with the knockoff, and suddenly, life is good. It's hyper offense, but you burnt Terra already and you're down a sweeper. You still keep Wo-Chan, which is nice. And Wo-Chan actually does pay dividends even now, because, you know, Armarouge comes in, you can leash sheet up, you're like, okay, fine, whatever. Armarouge can just kill with Armor Cannon. Nope. Armarouge ain't doing nothing, and Wo-Chan has claimed another body. So, yeah, really cool. Oh, it was weak policy, so I didn't even realize that in the live game. But, yeah. So, Stresh ends up just kind of cleaning this very easily. Reggie Steel comes in, and, Bisharp SDs, while Reggie Steel gets up an Iron Defense, and the last 3 attackers on Django's team are all physical attackers, and none of them can really hit Reggie Steel in a meaningful way. So, you know, there's Mousehold, Encores, gets sent into the Abyss by Body Press, and then Salamence kind of unsuccessfully tries to do the dash, does a little bit of Dragon Dance action, but unfortunately Body Press is a very comfortable 3-hit KO on the resist, and yeah, he wraps the game up. So pretty dominant showing by Stretch. He improves to like 6-1 in the pool, best record in the pool. So yeah, shout out Stretch. Django, unfortunately, in the Silver Foxes, I think they're out of playoff contention. But in RU specifically, they also fall to like 1-6 overall, which is needless to say, not a great look. But such is life. Moving on, we have Abriel versus Behe. Abriel has, like, by all rights, a pretty cool team. You don't really see Mascu Legion a ton. You don't really see Entei a ton, even though we did see a couple last week, I think. And this actually turns out to be the same thing we saw last week, I think, from... Was it Fogbound that brought it? Someone like that. But it's Mirror Herb Swagger, which is the... Yeah, I think it was Fogbound. But yeah, it's Mirror Herb Swagger, so we see that again. Pretty cool. Trick Scarf for a Bombi, which is also pretty cool, I guess. And yeah, Espeon you don't really see a lot. Terrakion somewhat more commonly, but I mean, not even a lot either. Behe's team is a little bit more regular. Only thing I can really comment that is kind of out of place is Quagsire, which shows up not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but 1, 2, 3, and 4 times this week. So I don't know what the sudden obsession with Quagsire is, but people seem to be gravitating towards it, and it works out for some people, works out for it doesn't work out for others. We'll cover those as we hit them. But for Behe, it did in fact work out. This Quagsire was a water absorbed Quag too, so kind of interesting. Ended up being kind of useful on a couple of the Mascu Legion turns, which was pretty cool. And yeah, Abriel did like kind of have some threats. There are a couple turns here I do want to call out specifically. Mainly, we're gonna skip ahead a few turns. Here's where we kind of figure out the Quagsire is like unaware of water absorb. So it says here it's just water absorb, but like I don't think we knew that in the game until a couple turns passed. So Quagsire gets the Spadef drop, whatever, goes into Registeel, sponges the Shadow Ball because Registeel is a hard body and just eats those hits for breakfast. Look at that, 19% pathetic. Goes into Quagsire, nom. Flip turned, just gives him 25% more HP, and it's like, okay, not an issue. And yeah, that was cool. But we go forward a few turns. So this is like interesting, right? So you Thunder Wave here for, I'm also not fully sure why Abriel hearted into him like this, but it worked out because the para just doesn't end up mattering. You get Swagger off, this isn't unaware, so you get the Terra Normal, you get the E-Speed, bop, Quagsire is sent into the Abyss, Zapdos comes in, you're like, okay, easy tank. Easy tank from the Zapdos. And Entei is sent into outer space by close combat, you're down Terra, Mascu Legion's basically, dead for you, and it's looking a little bit dire with kind of Abriel and the guys in the back. But there is still like kind of a funny last chance situation that does end up arising due to some creative play by Abriel. So like here, this situation, you have Espeon versus Reuniclus, and Espeon is just kind of whittling Reuni down. I guess Behe doesn't really want to put anyone else at risk of doing anything here. Doesn't want to like switch Registeel in, I guess, on something weird. Doesn't really want to switch Slitherwing in on its attack, which would obviously kill it at 23%, notwithstanding. It doesn't really matter what Espeon plays. But yeah, Espeon just kind of does a pretty good job and trades down versus this Reuniclus. Kind of making the call that, okay, this stuff isn't Focus Blast last, so Bisharp can have a free turn to do whatever it wants, and that is exactly what happens. Bisharp comes in on this Reuniclus, who you assume can't touch it, and he gets a Sword Stance up, and you're like, okay, cool. Bisharp is known to run low kick sometimes in this tier for precisely the situation, for like Registeels, the other Bisharps, maybe like even, I don't know, Crocodiles perhaps, to just like have a strong click in that, right? And it's like, if you're low kick here, you kind of explode Registeel, and then you Sucker Punch win the rest of the game. But the way, I also told you beforehand, Behe does win this, so it wasn't low kick. But for whatever reason, Behe doesn't body press here, which is, Bisharp has Eviolite, right? But this is still a Bisharp, and that's body press coming off of like a 130 defense mon or something. Like it could have been Spadef, that is true. I actually don't know the counts off the top of my head if it was specially defensive Registeel off of that throat shot damage. You definitely could have told, like you could tell what the investment would be from that. But Iron Defense was here, gives Abriel another chance if it like crit this throat chop if you like go for the iron head flinch or like crit or something. Like it maybe the hope is alive because you do sucker punch sweep after that, but no such luck for Abriel, and he does clutch up with this Registeel. So shoutouts to Bihi, improves on the season while Abriel falls to I think like 1-6 overall in the RU slot for them, and not been a very great season for I think what you can also just check this for the platoons. Yeah, I mean you can kind of see they're 1-6 over 3 different players. And BE also improves to 3 and 4. So yeah, good stuff from them. Next up we have Rob versus Fogbound. This was a blowout. Fogbound brought Spectacle Canyon into Rob's team and kind of just obliterated every single one. So Spectacle Canyon, I mean, the only guy who really appreciated, even like Hudra, right, and it was Specs, right? If this was maybe like more specially defensive Hudra, maybe Spectacle Canyon would have been not so big a threat, but no way to kind of get your HP back on that guy beyond Umbreon Wishes. And Umbreon is even getting 2-KO'd by Steam Eruption procs, and you have to think about Burn, and you have to think about like maybe a crit or whatever, or it turns out in the game it was actually Terra Fairy Terrablast too, I think so. Umbreon was never going to be the most consistent answer to that. Gardevoir could have doubled as like kind of your pseudo water immunity. You come in, you trace the water absorbed from Volk, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but as we kind of see real quick in the game, we can just skip to that turn. And you can kind of see like Volcanion put it in work early, like he throwing out fire or flamethrower and doing 41 Umbreon. Like, come on, man, that is disgusting. But yeah, if we skip to the turn when Volk comes in next. Yeah, so here's the thing I was talking about. So Talonflame comes in on a Gyarados U-turn into Volcanion, which is just free clicks here. Predicting the Steam Eruption, Rob goes to guards to try and like taking damage, neuter to the turn. Unfortunately, you take a flamethrower to the face, you lose 83% of your health, and now you're dead to hazard. So such is life. The Psychics into the Cyclizar does not mean anything. Just U-turn back into Volcanion here, I think, and you can, pick up a kill with Steam Eruption. Guard is stacked there, and from the rest of this game, it's, largely kind of just a matter of technique of how this game closes. So you can see Steam Eruption doing well over the damage threshold you'd need to like 2-KO with Rock Step, and Umbreon even had a little bit of damage on it beforehand, so not really doing anything there. I will note throughout this game the Goodra got a little bit unlucky. I even say quite unlucky actually. There were a couple key turns early on where he got like paralyzed that maybe could have switched the game out or switched the game up, like stuff like that, just the little things that matter. Oh, this is funny too. Quagsire, hello and goodbye. Steam Eruption basically one shot. So yeah, this mon is a freak. And I think soon. Yeah, I mean you flipped turn there. You couldn't even just miss, and is that where your Rob forfeits? Yeah. So again, the Goodra certainly got unlucky for a few turns. Got a few paralyses, a few misses, a couple improper reads too, but such is life, such is Mons, and Fog really, I mean, none of that was really stopping Volcanion from coming in and clicking buttons, especially since it was Terra Fairy. Goodra could never really lock into a Dragon move, or else Volk just picked bodies whenever it came in. Again, the water resist is non-existent if you have to switch out of it into the rest of the team. So yeah, tough roll for Rob, but great stuff from Fogbound. They improved to 4-3 on the season. Go positive. Very cool. Next up, we have a sub actually from the Technical Machines in Denial. Denial subbing in for Lime, who had some IRL stuff I think to take care of, versus Franklin. The power ranked 1 seed who was kind of trying to get his feet back under him, and this was not the week to do that. Denial, in fact, cleaned out with another Volcanion actually versus another Quagsire, which this one I think was also unaware. Denial played it in a way that they kind of thought it was water absorbed, but we never actually confirm whether or not it's one way or the other. But Denial brings a very cool team with like kind of ghost spam with Golurk and Zoroark Hisui. This is an idea that's been toyed with in the past, kind of just loading up on a bunch of like big ghost hitters and kind of going ham on the other guy's team. And it works out here. I mean, if you look at Franklin's team, you have Muck as your only like ghost resist. But even then, Zoroark has like, this turns out to be a spec Zoroark, so it like Terra Normal and then Hyper Voice that did like 1,000,000,000% to buff. Golurk, obviously, as the other ghost type, has Ground Stab to eviscerate Mach, so a lot of options, and we kind of see that a few times, and we'll just like skim through this to the point where Zoroark starts clicking buttons, which is pretty early on, I think. This was also a huge turn. So Franklin ends up with a Burnt Salamence, kind of attacks in the Golurk to get some chip, and then gets crit by Poltergeist and dies. This is pretty big, because you look now at Volcanion and the rest of the team, there's no water resist. Volcanion, it can just throw out Steam Eruptions with kind of Reckless Abandon if Quagsire is not water absorbed, which, again, we don't really figure out if it is or isn't. Anyway, we're coming up soon on these Zoroark turns. Mach comes in. This Weezing tries to do a little bit of 1v1 action versus Mach, had its helmet knocked off, blah, blah, blah. Mach comes in, rests in front of this Bisharp, and this is why, I think the Quag is unaware, because it switched Harden on the Bisharp, which makes me think it's unaware. You never tell for sure, though. This is also the Zoroark, by the way. The Weezing took some chip damage from before, if y'all don't remember, so this is the Zoroark since it was at full. And, Franklin goes into his Ghost Resist and unfortunately gets sent packing 60% with Paranormal Specs Hyper Voice, which is obviously a lot. Jirachi comes in and is like, hey, this is a resist, kind of, but also not really, 44%, have fun. And again, the rest of this game is kind of just show of technique from Denial. The Zoroark is kind of unfettered at this point. The Ghost Resist not only is not boost, so it has to take rocks, but is at 35, so that's not great for them. But also the Volcanion, like I said before, was always freed up as soon as the Mence went down. Really. So yeah, at this point it's just Denial slowly cleaning things up and kind of end with I think Volcanion closing it, right? Yeah, I mean, you see Volcanion coming in and just kind of closing the deal now. Earth Power finishes the Quagsire off. We never figure out if it's Water Absorb or not, doesn't matter. Denial had the liberty to play the game in a way where it didn't matter, which was very cool. Anyway, Slitherwing eventually goes down, or U-turns out, and theoretically, Jirachi could win this game, because we think it's pretty much obvious it's Scarf at this point. It took way too much from Hyper Voice. You didn't show lefties. None of that type of stuff. It's Terra Steel, which kind of further informs you that it's Scarf, but yeah. So technically, if it flinches down the 4 times resist Volcanion with the Iron Head, you could win, because you would outspeed and blow up Horror Arc. I think the G-Zing is dead at this point. This is like a visual glitch for the Zoroark because it's on the team and stuff. So yeah, theoretically, could win, but you already see in the chat, first turn fails, and Volcanion does clean it up with a flamethrower. Slither can't do anything to hit both. I think this is like Bandit Slither or something. It really doesn't matter. It's not Scarf, which is the only thing which would save you here. Zora comes in, flamethrowers, and just kind of seals the deal. So shoutouts to Denial and the Machines. I think they improved to like 5-2 on the season. Yeah, if you combine their records, so you have Lyme and Denial, they would combine to 5-2. So very good for them. And unfortunately for Franklin, he falls he falls to negative. He falls to 3 and 4. And if he wants to avoid ending the season with a negative record like he did last year, he does have to clutch up these last couple games of the season. So we'll see how that goes. And finally, we have elodin versus Feliburn. And I've gone to the sheet a couple times, so the result may have been spoiled, but Feliburn did win with our 4th Quagsire of the week. And some pretty cool stuff from Feliburn's side. This team, while this game was happening live, a lot of people in the RU Discord were talking about, oh, this is a stall team because there's a Chansey and a Quagsire. And I mean, if that's how you want to think about it, more power to you. But personally, this just looks like a regular team that has a defensive backbone. You just chose to be Chansey and Quagsire. Even Goodra too, I think, is like a protect set, which has been picking up some momentum lately. We've seen it in a couple random side tours, I think this has popped up in seasonal, and now in SCL too. So some cool stuff. Same with elodin actually. Elodin also has like a pretty interesting like Spidef Goodra type thing going on. You see it leading off here actually, and I think it gets a knockoff on Chansey turn 1. So big value. Obviously, Eviolite on Chansey is like its biggest thing. So taking that off turn 1 and needless to say, a very good investment. Some interesting things happen here. Feli is getting good spikes back up. It is unaware quack, okay. With Mimikyu as the spin blocker of choice, which is in and of itself pretty unique, right? You don't really see Mimikyu a ton as like a spin blocker, mostly because you don't have a way to like, get HP back on it. Typically on these structures, you'll see like Palisand, but you know, Palisand has its like own issues, so understandable that Feli would want to try something different. That was a great switch into Gudra, by the way. Kind of mid-rounding if it was Zora, or also his opposing Gudra if it was actually that. And this is spit out so you can tank like a Draco or a knockoff or whatever you want, really. So yeah, this game is really quite slow, honestly, up until the very end, where here it is. And I spoiled the surprise. Okay, so here's kind of the situation. We have elodin with kind of Gudra versus Fez. Gudra has Earthquake to kind of make sure Fez stays chipped enough in range. So Scarf Zapdos eventually can come in and maybe close combat and be like a threat or something like that. And then hopefully like win with Cycles are on like a Draco dodge or something like that. And Fez, you know, generally it would Terra Water, take the Earthquake, maybe like be at risk of dying to like close combat plus rapid spin, and then it's like, who knows what happens with the rest of the game. But Feli is actually Terra Flying, so this Gudra actually just can't touch it. It already Draco, so it's at -2 special attack. It's opposing Draco is not doing anything with this Fez. Earthquake's obviously immune. This Fez manages to get up a Calm Mind, and at this point, the game is over. It kind of just cleans out the rest of Elodin's team. The Noivern comes in, Draco, and is all she wrote. So yeah, very cool stuff. And then with that W, if you've been keeping track on the Quagsire count, Feli actually does bring the Quagsire win rate to 50% on the week. I think Franklin lost with it, Rob lost with it, and then of course Behe and Feliburn won with the big Mudfish. So with that being said, this was the first week also without Thundurus in the tier, so you can kind of see an interesting new distribution for usage stats. Don't ask me what's up with this. This is like this is like inflated to high hell. This should not be here. It's just like a funny mon that people, I guess, this week decided to say, oh, let me just use Quagsire for some reason. It's a mixed effect. Bisharp is also taking up that kind of front spot. You have some Zapdos Galar, you have Talonflame, you have Salamence, some of the usual suspects you've seen kind of hovering around the spot before. And yeah, cool stuff and great gaming for the week. Real quick recap overall for the kind of overall standings right now. So number one, like I said before, is Stretch with the Terror 6-1. Pretty dominant stuff from him. Has been really killing it all tour. You can see versus the entire pool, no one's really been able to figure out the secret sauce to stopping him, except Elodin at week 3 where he got HO'd, I think. Feliburn at 5-2. The cheapest buy in the pool. Oh, I guess Denial not counting. Cheapest starter in the pool, with the second best record. So yeah, cool stuff. Lime would be tied with Feli at 5-2, but he did have to sit out the week, so 4-2. We'll say tied for like second best. Why not? And everyone else was kind of in that 4-3, 3-4 range. With Rob and Fog on the flip, on like the positive side of things, with being 4-3, and then Elodin, Behe, and then Franklin at 3-4, currently sitting negative on the season. For all of these guys, if they want to, the 3-4 pool line, if they want to end the season positive, they do have to win the rest of their games. I think we do have 2 weeks left, right? Yeah. So we have 2 weeks left. They do have to win their games if they want to be positive by the end of the season. And yeah, and then we kind of have the stragglers in the group at this point very clearly. Some teams were just not put together for the SCL season. That could be due to a variety of factors. Hard to tell for sure, but yeah, the Foxes and the Platoons have just not had a very good time. Both of them currently sitting at 1-6 overall between kind of everyone they've tried in the slot, and yeah, I think they're also out of contention for playoffs, but I do not remember for sure. Actually, I can literally check that. Yeah, so the Platoons and Foxes, they're sitting pretty decidedly outside of contention. So such is life. But Anyway, that should conclude our Week 7 SCL RU recaps. You know the drill at this point. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and keep your head up for more SCL RU content. I think next week, or well, this week, and then next week will be the final 2 weeks of kind of the regular season, and then we'll kind of proceed into playoffs, and we'll see if we want to do anything special with that. Yeah, I think that is all I have to say. So, have a great day, y'all, or night, or evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're like watching this, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.